In Los Angeles alone, Mayweather has defeated his last 6 Mexican opponents.
Mayweather held the WBC super lightweight strap.
There is his record in championship fights. That is but a subset of his overall record, which you might see as the most remarkable current record in the sport. And the boos you hear in the arena greet the entrance of the man whom Mexicans see as the Mexican assassin, a man who's built much of his career by knocking off Mexican fighters, Roger Mayweather.
Let's see what we get here.
Chavez did all of the damage in this fight.
Here's a left. And this is what Chavez did to Mayweather in their first fight.
Knocking Mayweather around the ring.
He stood him up and he's got him standing still on the ropes. Chavez stepping in now and landing with much more consistency than was the case in the earlier round.
Everything was thrown with bad intentions.
They are trading in there. This is man-sized stuff. And you're looking at Chavez going to work. All of a sudden, Roger Mayweather has blood coming from a mouse underneath the left eye.
Because he's always moving forward and making the fight in a close fight.
As the fighters went to their corners at the end of the 10th.
They have stopped the fight.
Referee Hank Ellis talked to Mayweather's corner, and it's over. WBC World Super Lightweight Champion. Champion now in a third weight class.
Chavez was now the WBC champion. With each win, Chavez marched toward history.
The one that really seemed to affect him the most was when he won his 3rd world title, because at that point he became the first Mexican ever in the world to be able to say that he has won 3 world titles.
The interesting thing about Julio Cesar Chavez was he is a 3-time world champion. First won at 130 pounds, moved up and won 2 of the versions of the 135-pound lightweight title. An unbelievable record, the best record in boxing today, 61-0 with 50 knockouts.
Is perhaps the greatest, most revered athlete in the history of Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez.
The boxing world was still in shock from Mike Tyson's stunning loss to Buster Douglas just 1 month before. So what next?
The boxing world's attention turned to a battle between 2 undefeated champions.
2 great fighters, same weight class, both in their prime. Boy, it had everything.
Both are 140-pound champions. Chavez, WBC super lightweight titleist, is regarded by many as the best fighter in the world.
It's so appetizing because Chavez is one of the toughest fighters you'll ever see, and Taylor is given a good chance to end his 10-year winning streak.
In front of a raucous crowd.
The great Julio Cesar.
Fans, I think if you take a toll, it would end up 90% Whitaker, 10% Chavez.
Well, I think Pernell Whitaker came up with a tremendous performance against Julio Cesar Chavez, and in my mind, won the fight.
Not many agreed with Chavez or the judges. They wonder if he is no longer invincible.
Still reeling from the Whitaker draw, Chavez took on #1 contender, Frankie Randall. Chavez's unbeaten streak looked vulnerable.
And this is the champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, getting into his dressing room. His first fight of 1994. He's had 90 since his fabled career began.
Frankie, the Surgeon Randall.
In an age where fighters rarely have 3 bouts a year, Chavez has been fighting at least one opponent every 2 months for over 13 years.
Entering the 11th, Chavez was ahead on 2 of the cards.
Blood from the bridge of Chavez knows nothing new. Down goes Chavez for the first time in his career. Unbelievable. Flush on the face. And now it's goodbye title, Bobby.
He finished the fight, but the knockdown was the difference on the cards.
And new champion, Frankie
the surgeon Randall.
For the first time in his career, Julio Cesar Chavez had been beaten.
It compares with some of the most compelling upsets in sports history, like Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. It was the real-life version of Rocky Balboa over Apollo Creed.
It was just his first defeat, but it felt like the press had been waiting to pounce on Chavez, questioning if he was washed.
First, he wants to congratulate Frankie Randall.
Hizo una buena pelea esta noche.
He certainly fought an excellent fight tonight.
But there are those who wonder if time is running out on this great champion.
He's obviously not the Chavez of 5 years ago.
I only lost one fight, and I was so strongly criticized. All great fighters have lost. Ali lost, Leonard lost, they all lost.
Chavez cannot rewrite history, but he might be able to exact revenge against the man who put a blemish on his record.
Chavez and Frankie Randall set a rematch. Despite the hype, the fight was a dud. Frankie Randall opened a cut on Chavez's eye with a headbutt. The ref stopped the fight, and Chavez won on points.
How interesting is this turn of events now, Bobby?
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to go, and wherever it does go, it's going to be controversial.
Trying to get Frankie Randall out of here as fast as possible. People falling in the path of Frankie Randall. Unbelievable.
It wasn't the redemptive fight Chavez was hoping for, but nevertheless, he was the champion again.
Introducing Meldrick Taylor.
He has won no less than 5 of these.
Incredible moment elevated Chavez to even higher levels of fame in Mexico.
One of the most memorable fights in 30 years of boxing on HBO.
Have been very important, but certainly one of those most important was when he won against Taylor in that last round, because everyone had him losing that fight.
Parades welcomed him home. The streets were lined with fans.
Mexicans and Mexican Americans are the principal supporters of boxing here, and Chavez is the kind of fighter who embodies their spirit and hopes, with his aggressive style and his Ray Leonard-like public charm.
Seems the WBC super featherweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez was born to fight. The son of a railroad worker is unbeaten.
He even had his own gum.
Julio Cesar Chavez gum, the gum that knocks you out.
Since moving to 140, Chavez hadn't missed a beat. He ran through the division, lifting his undefeated record higher and higher.
One of the longest unbeaten streaks at the beginning of a career in the entire history of the sport.
From Culiacan, Mexico, the WBC super lightweight and IBF junior welterweight champion of the world, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Each match, he showed he still possessed the knockout power to put away larger men.
7. A straight right hand, the punch that finished Meldrick Taylor. Unless it was a harder punch than he's ever been hit before. He told us he had never been down before. Retires, or as we say in America, he quits.
Nobility and courage took Kyungduk on only so far.
Chavez's record had made him a marked man. Pursued by every would-be legend seeking to be the first to defeat him.
4th best streak without a loss in the history of the sport, and the other 3 who rank ahead of him were all fighters from back around the turn of the century. So in the past 50 years, no professional boxer has begun a career and sustained unbeaten success for as long as has Julio Cesar Chavez.
He feels very proud that he has this kind of a record, that he takes it very seriously, that this to him is a tremendous commitment.
Outside the ring, Julio has settled his differences with longtime friend and promoter Don King, and their relationship is better than ever. So it's undefeated Julio Cesar Chavez, 75-0, 62 knockouts, out to defend his WBC super lightweight title.
Everyone out there has been intimidated by him. My man ain't afraid of Julio Cesar Chavez. We gonna get that ass tonight.
This dare capacity crowd chanting Mexico, Mexico as we begin the fight. It's for the WBC super lightweight title scheduled for 12.
And on the nose of Hernandez. You get close to Chavez, blood is going to start to flow. Oh, good punch.
A punishing right by Chavez.
Chavez has got knockout on his punches. Hernandez has got don't worry on his.
Chavez looks to be fighting angry right now.